What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KF Podcast. This is the AEW Update edition. I want to say thank you for listening. If you just found us on YouTube's, check us out on the interwebs at kfpodcast.com and the KF Podcast on your other social media needs. We are at Don's house. I feel weird. I'm not used to these microphones, so it scared me all out.
Hearing your voice to these sexy microphones we got.
See, usually I can act a fool and not hear myself in my head, but now I feel like it's like...
And then you just hear your breath. And
just hear hot breath.
And everything else.
No, we fixed that.
We did fix... I'm sure people are going to still be like, ugh.
Everybody hates us.
Everyone does hate us. Mainly because of you.
So since me... Jeez. Oh, nice.
So no Justin this week on the show.
That means...
It's just wrestling talk.
Wrestling talk. That means Adam won't listen, Jim won't listen, Todd won't listen.
You're missing out on some
There's
sweet...
half of our audience.
There's half of our audience right there.
And the other half likes Justin better than the rest of us.
I mean, he is a lot nicer and better looking than all of us.
True.
He is.
All right, so we decided since the news of AEW this week that we were going to go ahead, do a little preview for Double or Nothing, talk about the state of AEW and kind of our hopes and our,
dreams.
Hopes, dreams, hoping they don't fall into the same traps as other wrestling promotions. And that's what we're just going to kind of talk about today.
WCW?
WCW?
Or Impact Wrestling?
Or XPW?
XPW.
I don't know that one.
It's a failed ECW ripoff from.
I went to one of their shows. It was terrible.
Oh, it was.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother show.
Just Wikipedia that and get the history of that, and then so we're gonna talk about that.
So who do they got so far? Current roster.
All right, so
you have the ones I know. You have Cody. You have the Young Bucks. You have SCU.
You have Hangman Page.
You have
Kenny Omega,
Chris Jericho,
the Lucha Bros.
Now, is Lucha Bros official, signed, or are they just on the paper?
They claim on their site that they're official.
They have a working relationship with AAA.
Yeah, so that's how they're affiliated.
Because they're still on Impact, though, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're on MLW too, I believe.
I feel like the way they're getting around MLW is I don't know, but MLW is an only YouTube broadcast. So they might be able to get around not being able to be broadcast by them being just specifically on a on a internet broadcast, so they can show up at other places.
They signed the Best Friends.
Yeah, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta.
Yep. Britt Baker.
Pittsburgh Zone.
Punxsutawney.
It's probably a good idea if we should have had the page up with them.
I was actually
going to card up for the show here.
All right, why don't you take us through? This is the Double or Nothing show on May 26th, right?
25th.
25th.
Yep.
So what is the card currently for Double or Nothing?
The pre-show has 2 matches being headlined by a casino battle royale.
Let's give our predictions on it as well, too, as he gives us the match.
Well, I feel like maybe before we get into the casino royale, I have the roster up, so I'll go through them. Because the Casino Royale match is for the number one. It's for a number one contender spot for the title.
Oh,
so it's actually worth something this year.
Okay.
Do you mind if I cut in on you, Brock?
I don't care.
All right.
So we have Adam Hangman Page, Brandy Rhodes, who's going to be a wrestler, but she's also the chief branding officer.
Yeah.
Britt Baker, Chris Jericho, Christopher Daniels, Cody, Frankie Kazarian, Joey Janela, the Young Bucks, MJF.
Your favorite?
I hate him. The OWE roster, but I don't know who is on there. Apparently, Pac is also officially signed full time with them.
Formerly Neville.
Formerly Neville. Penelope Ford, who's going to be wrestling. Scorpio Sky, Jungle Boy. And then there's the Lucha Bros, Phoenix Pentagon Jr., Jimmy Havoc. Then there's the 6 females that they announced for the 6 woman tag match. Aja Kong, Yuki I'm going to butcher this. Sakazaki.
Saka what?
Yeah.
Sunny Rose, Sammy Guerrera, Kylie Ray, which is, she's hot right now in the indie scene. People love her. Mm-hmm. It's Nyla Rose. Is she the first transgender wrestler? Yes. Openly transgender wrestler. Chucky T, Trent Beretta, Kenny Omega, Braden Cutler, their buddy that couldn't get signed anywhere else. They decided to sign and put on there. Kip Saban. I don't know anything about him. He's from England, right? Is he?
Yeah, he's in that tag team, I think. No. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Okay.
He's on the pre-show against Sammy Guevara.
Bae Priestley is that? She's a big UK wrestler. Is she married to
I think so.
what's his name from New Japan? Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
That's his girlfriend
They're
or wife.
connected. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're married.
The infamous Michael Nakazawa, Ace Romero, Ali from TNA. I'm not going to talk about any kind of Hikori Shiada, Glacier.
Isn't Glacier 49 years old?
Yeah, but he's still going to be great. Darby Allin,
Darby Allin is weird.
Brian Pillman Jr., which is going to be good. SEMA, who's from that China promotion, OWE. Dustin Rhodes, Leva Bates, Peter Avalon. That Private Party, I don't know them, but I've seen some of their highlights on YouTube. It looks exciting. Dustin Thomas, who you brought up in a group chat recently. He's not wrestling, so I'm not going to talk about him. Oh, they got Angelico, Jack Evans.
Oh, they signed Angelico?
Yeah, so Angelico and Jack Evans apparently were a lot of tag team, a lot of the indie scene and in AAA.
And in Lucha Underground, they fought each other a lot. Angelico was the guy that jumped off the Lucha Underground building down onto the ring.
Yeah, so they let me see, just make sure that there's no other. All right, so that's all the active roster staff. We can go into other stuff later as we go on, but
And JR signed with him.
well, I didn't get into all that. We can talk about that later if we want.
All right. So matches, let's go.
So they're doing a casino battle royale, which is, like Ken said, for the #1 contendership. And it's going to work like a Royal Rumble, but instead of coming out one at a time, they're coming out five at a time in 4 waves. And then the last guy is going to come out. The 21st entry is like
On his own.
the wild card. You draw the Joker card. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be somebody big that they haven't announced yet.
Okay. Who would let's make a prediction. Who's out there that isn't signed that would be big?
CM Punk,
Marty couldn't do it.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose would be huge if they could pull off
John Moxley.
Yeah, well, if they could pull off Moxley,
Would the WWE allow him with his contract to send him?
he's free and clear. Yeah, he's free and clear.
His contract expired.
So that could be a surprise.
I'm thinking it's going to be somebody big. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of a disappointment, I think.
Yeah, it can't just be Sammy Guerrero or whatever.
Well, yeah, but I think you're going to see other surprises in there. I think you're going to see. Does anyone know Ty Dillinger's indie name? Is it something Spade or?
He might be in that no compete phase because he asked for his release.
He's working for Create a Pro this month.
Okay, but they're not on TV, so
Yeah, they have an online service. So if maybe, but
that's that gray area. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so far, the confirmed entrants for this match are Sonny Kiss, Brandon Cutler, Ace Romero, Glacier, Brian Pillman Jr., Sunny Days, MJF, Joey Janela, and Dustin Thomas.
Okay.
I said earlier that
So they have a lot of people to put into this.
yeah,
so that's only about not even half.
Yeah.
They must have different battle royal rules instead of the both feet touching the floor, because otherwise Dustin Thomas would never be able to be eliminated
I can see them.
Why?
because he doesn't have.
He doesn't have any legs.
He doesn't have any legs.
No, yeah, he's the first. It's like this big. They did a big spot on him. What was it? The last.
It was on the road to Double or Nothing.
Yeah, and
He's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an insensitive joke. The guy can go.
yeah, and
How's he wrestle with no legs?
he does. I mean,
It's a lot of stuff from the ropes.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Like he'll spring up onto the ropes and do all kinds of stuff from there.
it's a lot of reversals too. Like so, whenever he's
Submission holds.
yeah.
I imagine he has to work with someone good though that can help him work back. Like,
Well, I mean, much like the Ultimate Warrior, he had to work with someone good to have a good match. Like,
Yeah.
and all
The Ultimate Warrior never had a good match.
so he's in the battle royal.
He's in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do there.
I can see.
I would call a loophole if I were him.
Yeah, he has 2 hands. Or
Yeah, I'm
something.
sure that it's going to be something if his,
One butt equals both feet.
yeah, or is like
Or they'll never mention it.
they might not.
He'll just get thrown out and land on his face, and he'll definitely be out.
I can see like Billy Gunn showing up for that. These people that they have signed for their
Yeah.
is like coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like Billy Gunn, Jerry Lynn's on their coaching staff now. Like those guys, I can
see
show-
Tommy Dreamer making an appearance at this.
Of course, Tommy Dreamer.
You know,
He's wrapped up with Impact right now, though. It's hard to
he
say.
is.
I can
Yeah.
actually see DDP.
Yeah,
for a battle royal.
Yeah, he's a big sponsor right now.
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't any of the main stars appear in it? Couldn't Cody pull double duty and show up in this too?
I feel like this is a time for them to show that maybe this isn't just all about them being top
I
spot.
think so.
Like this, I think this shows that, like, okay, just because we're the executive vice, I would hope this would be
Unless the 21st entrants come out and it's Cody.
okay.
You're like,
That could be a storyline then
yeah,
too.
and it's
Yeah.
gonna-
They gave themselves the top spot.
Yeah,
or they all
Crazy.
tried to give themselves the top spot, and then they all come out in a group with Kenny, him,
all
and all.
four of them, and then like they fight to their way into first one in the ring kind of situation.
Now I don't know. Are all these guys legitimately signed, or are they just assigned for this match?
I think everyone on the card is signed to
Okay.
either AAA, OWE, or AEW.
I mean, they also have all the OWE guys they could fill space in with too.
yeah,
True.
I'm sure you're going to
They
get at
could,
least
they
five.
could come out in a group of 5.
Yeah. I would hope they wouldn't just do a group of 5. I would hope that they'd mix them in just so you could kind of see them sporadically. Not like, these are the people we have to put it in this, like,
They come out as a team and they're
Yeah.
all on the same page.
Yeah.
Start checking people out.
Yeah.
So anybody want to make a prediction on that one?
MJF hasn't been assigned to a match, right?
He's in this.
I'm going to say MJF's going to win this. I effing hate him, but yeah.
I'm going to say that it's a swerve and Cody Rhodes is going to win it.
I'm going to go with Joey Janela
Okay.
because he's another one of the first ones they announced that hasn't really done anything yet.
Well, he's been injured.
True.
And I think he used this time to get healthy from, he does some crazy ass shit. So,
He's going to injure himself again the way he works, though.
well, hopefully I honestly think with Chris Jericho there preaching to those guys about how to work smart and not, because I remember you listen to his podcast, he talks about talking to Will Ospreay. He's like, listen, you're amazing, but the way your work rate and the way that you work, and you're going to hurt yourself before you have time to really,
But I think that's like that's what people know him as and what makes him famous. You take that away from him. Excuse me.
Is that a zoo?
Is there really much to him besides that he's known for getting crazy?
I think that
he's not a big guy. He's not really a strong dude. I mean, he's good on the mic. I've heard him speak a couple times.
I think you can still have that persona, but still be smart about it.
Okay.
Save it for the pay-per-views.
Yes. Like Mick Foley was pretty reckless, but once he got smart, he saved it for when it mattered. Like,
Yeah. Okay. All right. What else we got?
The other pre-show match is Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian.
I've never seen either one of those two wrestle. I know
think-
that Sammy's on Being Elite a lot, so I guess he'll win.
I think he'll win as well.
he's got a AAA title. Doesn't he have one of the AAA belts? He's like
believe he does.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would assume that they'd put him over. But you never know. If they're trying to get this, if Sammy's just over as a AAA talent, maybe they try to get this other kid that they signed on their own, develop more UK stars, because it's I think that's a coin flip.
Yeah. Speaking of coin flip, first on the main card we have a women's 6-man tag match with a bunch of Japanese stars.
You got to say all their names. I did.
Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura versus Hikaru Shida,
God.
and Ryo Mizunami.
Very good.
I doubt I said any of
Now,
those
was the
right.
men's battle royal on the pre-show?
Yes, it's going to be free on their YouTube and everything else.
I think that's going to be their traditional thing that they're going to do for their annual big show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Team A or Team B could win this one. I'm going to say Aja Kong's team's going to win
I'll go with that.
because
Yeah.
that's the only name I recognize.
Did she wrestle WWE back in the
Is Britt
Yeah.
Baker on one of those teams?
No, she's in a triple threat match,
Okay.
which we can talk about next.
All right.
It's Dr. Britt Baker versus Kylie Ray versus Nyla Rose.
I'm going with Britt Baker. She was their first real female that they signed. I think she's their big name. Mrs. Adam Cole.
I think she'll probably win that too.
I can see them doing that. Nyla, what's her name? Nyla Rose. Mm-hmm. I can see them pushing her. She's a big person. I mean, she's physically and she's just strong, and I can see her being imposing in that women's division and make her kind of a monster.
Okay.
We have a tag team match just created this week on Being the Elite. The Best Friends, Chucky T and Beretta versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
Which was great how they set this up, because they threatened to kill Tried to kill the Young Bucks family.
I would probably say the best friends in this one since they're more popular than those other two. Jack Evans has wrestled in a million different places.
He has, but I think this is going to be the first time to like. It's a big spotlight.
He never really gets over though. You know what I mean? They brought him into I remember when they brought him into Lucha Underground, they were like Triple A sensation, Jack Evans. He was on Impact, all this stuff, and he can wrestle, but he can't talk. He's kind of boring. They put him in the underground whatever with those guys, and he's just okay.
I hope that AEW embraces the managerial side of wrestling and really develops stables and that kind of stuff, and that those guys can get over in a group.
I like Angelico because he's very mobile, very good, but he also has height, which a lot of those guys don't have. He's not your normal short luchador. He's tall and he's got long legs. He does a lot of really cool kicks and moves, and he's good. He's a talented kid. I've never heard him talk once when he was on Lucha Underground, though.
Oh, I can't remember if I don't know.
I think this company's really putting an emphasis on tag team wrestling. So I think they're going to be given time to really put on a good match. It could go either way, honestly.
I think that with I think it's going to be Angelico and Evans.
I think so too, just because the best friends will be able to use this later.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to prepare.
Yeah.
All this kind of, it's going to be a storyline thing.
Yep. I'm going with the best friends.
We have another 6-man tag match this time with the men. SoCal Uncensored versus Shima, T-Hawk, and El Lindemann from OWE.
This isn't a layup. This is SCU. They're one of the stars of AEW and
I feel like this is how they put over OWE.
I think so too, because I think All In, it was all those guys that won.
Yeah.
I think this is now they want to show that it's not just going to be our friends. We're gonna
SCU is going to win this. Watch it.
It's going to be T-Hawk.
It's going to be Thunderhawk from Street Fighter.
They're going to kill him.
He's going to be dead. Speaking of dead, just heard a report from Travis Lively. Ashley Mazzaro was found dead.
Who?
Who's Ashley Mazzaro?
Oh, the chick that won
the Diva Search winner.
Oh,
my
really?
God.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
39 years old.
Oh my God.
Do you know what happened to her?
No, he just screenshotted me
Wow. Poor thing.
from TMZ.
They might have confused her with Ric Flair. All the news today that.
No. All right, next match. What do you got?
We have
Rest in peace, Ashley.
Dustin Rhodes versus Cody. And a brother versus brother
They
match.
got Dusty Rhodes for this event.
Dusty's going to be the special guest referee.
This is Cody all the way. Easy.
I think so.
Then Dustin will be over it and join him and be his ally after it's over.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Dustin Rhodes is in there to build any kind of character with him. He's almost 50 years old.
yeah.
What I'm hoping for this match is that we actually get to see what Dustin Rhodes can do.
Yeah.
Since he was never given an opportunity recently where he was in WWE.
I think that's because I don't really think he can do a lot.
Well,
I mean, he's always been a decent wrestler, but I would never thought of him. I saw him. Remember when he wrestled in WCW and they let him kind of
he sucked in WCW.
He was allowed to be his own guy. He was Dustin Rhodes. He was
also 19 years old with no experience.
No, that was after he was Goldust.
No, he was.
He came from being Goldust, and they gave him that 7 character. He had already done his first Goldust run, and then he was because his whole speech about 7 was, I'm not doing any of that stupid crap anymore. Goldust sucked. And he said all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then he wrestled as Dustin Rhodes, and he was terrible. He was also very out of shape at that time.
Yeah, he's in phenomenal shape.
Now he's in good shape. I mean, I love Dustin Rhodes. I love Goldust, but he's older now.
I'm going to say this. I would love to see Dustin Rhodes in one last run. So if for whatever reason, if he does lose to Cody, I would like to see him take on an old gritty Terry Funk-esque not hard in the hardcore sense, but where he would just I want him to wrestle in cowboy boots, take the cowboy boots off, and jam into people's faces,
and get beat up. Well, really take a lot of falls and stuff, and keep going Terry Funk used to do.
He doesn't have to get that physical. Terry Funk
used to get the shit kicked out
That
of
was
him,
all Terry Funk did.
and then stand up and still be fighting.
I feel like you could do a gritty cowboy character.
I think they're going to really push the whole Nightmare Family thing, and once this ends, he'll be like Cody's like bodyguard guy.
So he'll be like, there'll be a stable, and it'll be like Glacier, Dustin. You know,
People that support Cody, like
Yeah.
he's their king.
I'm down with that.
He'll beat people up for him.
Oh yeah,
Take people out.
And he's great in that role because he's tall, he's big. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when they first booked this, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I want to see that. Like, I want to see them together.
He's the
it.
biggest guy on their roster.
He is the
And
biggest
who
guy
wouldn't
in the
want to love
roster.
to see a like brother versus brother tag, like have the Rhodes versus the Young Bucks? That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Because Dustin would just throw those two around and then like take 1,000 super kicks. That'd be good.
It's good. It's good for Dustin. I'm sure he's happy to be there with his brother.
I think you're going to be surprised at what he can do now that he's in shape. He's
Yeah.
a lot thinner.
I think this is gonna be the best match on the card.
I just don't know how much he wants to do at his age.
But
Because Dustin is, to me, is a guy, like, I follow him on Twitter, and he's very content. Even in his later years as Goldust here, he never complained about, like, not getting... He was just happy to be working with younger guys, getting people
Yeah.
over. I think that's what he really cares about, is, like, getting a ring. He'll put young guys over.
Yeah.
I don't think he's worried about doing, like, wow, look at that match he just had. Like, he's just, yeah, he got beat up by this guy and this new guy, you know. He's there to help put people over.
Which is great. Like they need.
He can still look good in that process.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Having him and Billy Gunn on the roster is a good move for him because both those guys have a lot to teach younger talent.
Yep.
And Jericho as well.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I forgot about him. Of course,
And speaking of Jericho, he's wrestling Kenny Omega again.
Chris Jericho's totally winning this match.
He lost the last one, right?
Yep. So then they can do the last
At
match.
the Jacksonville show, it'll be the third one.
Yep.
In a steel cage or something like that.
Yeah. Because this one doesn't have any kind of stipulation, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, and the only reason they did the first one is stipulation, if he said on his podcast, because New Japan doesn't regulate if you use a chair or whatever, so you might as well use it and just say it's no, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
no disqualification.
They'll
so.
have a third one, a big falls count anywhere or something like that.
This could be another show stealer, but we've seen it before, so I'm not that excited for this match. I'd rather see them both wrestle somebody else, but it'll probably still be good.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is if
It was the easy story for them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, you're getting Jericho. Of course, he's going to go after Kenny Omega because he lost.
Yeah.
Before. It was like an easy... That one they didn't have to spend too much time thinking too hard on.
well, this is also one that no in America got to see live.
Right,
Like it
true.
was, it was Wrestle Kingdom. So this is, they still have a lot of money to make in this match in the States.
Right. That's a good point because
Yeah.
only people in Japan saw it, so they can
Yeah.
work this over here.
Yeah.
People that are new to AEW will be like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, and also a lot of people, I think, we're ingrained into this and doctored into like the wrestling. I think casual wrestling fans will be like, oh, there's like a different option. Oh, Chris Jericho's wrestling. I know Chris Jericho from 1,000 other different things. He's wrestling Kenny Omega. Like it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And this is really America's introduction to Kenny Omega, too.
It really is.
It is. Who better to be with than Jericho?
Like this is a huge deal with them getting on TNT. So
We'll talk about TNT in a minute.
no, I want to talk about it now.
We have a AAA World Tag Team title match between the Young Bucks, who are the current champs, against the Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros are winning this match.
Yeah.
Lucha Bros are winning this match. That's the only way they could get him to come over was to guarantee they take.
Well, and also
they're
you.
not going to take the loss.
Yeah, you put them over on TV. It elevates the AAA brand.
The Lucha Bros are one of the most popular non-WWE tag teams right now.
Oh yeah. All right.
And finally, we have Hangman Page versus Pac.
So is this the last? Are they going to put this on last?
I don't know what order they have this in.
This, I feel, should be for the title.
I thought it should be two. Like I feel like this is how you kick off the.
Well, maybe they'll announce that this is the whoever wins this will fight the winner of that battle royal.
Yeah. I would like to see a tournament for something, but
I feel Hangman Page wins this one. I think he's one of their top guys.
yeah.
I think that's what they're setting up. I think he's going to be their first world champion.
Yeah, I think so too. He's not an executive vice president like the rest of them. He doesn't have that title like Kenny and the rest of those guys has. I feel like they think he's one of their future guys because he's a talent that the WWE would have liked to have got. Bigger guy, good-looking guy that ladies like. I mean,
Like
that
the guy with a belt.
And-
He
and-
just needs that belt.
It helps though. I mean, people love Roman Reigns because girls go crazy about him. Hangman Page is a good-looking guy that if guys are watching wrestling and their wives or girlfriends are like, "Oh, who's that? I like him," and you got to get kids and women to like your product
Yep.
because you can't just have the nerds like
Yeah.
it. You got to get. And that's what the WWE does so well. That why they're so big. You got to get the women and the kids. So gimmicks like the Lucha Bros sell masks. They get
yeah.
over. But Hangman Page will get the ladies there,
I'm going to throw this out there, and you guys can.
and he's good too.
Oh, he's really good. What about your first main story arc in AEW is Pac, the bastard is kind of his gimmick, and he's just he's the heel that's just going to do whatever it takes to win, and it's the entire time it's Adam Page chasing him. So he loses this match because Pac does something, cheats. Maybe has someone that you didn't realize on his side. Jimmy Havoc comes out.
Is Pac a champion too?
He's the Dragon Gate champion, and I feel like he's gonna stay. He's gonna always wrestle for Dragon Gate. He's always had a
So
fond
that belt's
affection.
not on the line.
No, because I don't think Dragon Gate has any affiliation with.
But they let him be a part of this.
Yeah.
So he's not official
They're not
roster.
televised, I think.
And it's only in Japan. Is it like one of the Japan properties? Because I don't think they
It's
have.
a Japanese property.
And because I don't think they used to have. Johnny Gargano was like the longest running U.S.
Yeah.
Dragon Gate USA champions, but I can see them having Pac win and then having Hangman chase him for a win, and start off with a storyline where he needs to get his redemption win. Pac keeps cheating.
Yeah.
Whatever he needs to win, like eye gouges, and I want. That's I want to. We can get into this later, but I want to get old school. I want to see through salt in the eye. I want to get
Well, right now there isn't any real defined faces and heels.
No,
it's
and
all
that's
just kind of dudes who want to fight.
And I feel like if they really turn into faces and heels and really pick sides, and if wins and losses matter, that's how you start with this pay per view.
Well, it seems like SCU is maintaining their heel status because they've been doing this as the worst town gimmicks on being the elite and all that. So I figured they'll stay in that mode.
But smart marks are going to totally still chant SCU.
Well, yeah.
Jericho's a heel.
Oh, he's a
MJF's
great
a
heel.
heel.
Yeah,
MJF's a heel.
because he's an asshole.
But what is Cody?
I don't know.
What are the Young Bucks?
I feel like all those guys you're going to find out soon. The Young
Yeah.
Bucks, I feel like
They work so much better as heels.
the Young Bucks. Oh yeah,
Do you think they're going to make themselves still be like a faction? Like they're the elite.
Eventually, I think.
oh, it's either eventually or at the start.
Yeah.
And then they all go their own ways because they're going to do storylines where they abuse power.
Yeah,
I mean, that's going to happen.
I just hope that they have storylines.
that's important.
I'm kind of concerned about that because all they keep talking about is the competition matters, the wins and losses, your record matters, all that. I want there to be stories too.
Yeah.
I don't want it to just be like, oh well, in this fake fight you've won 3 in a row, so you're now the number 1 contender.
Going off stats. So what's the next show after this? The next show after this is the Jacksonville show?
Yes.
Nothing announced for that.
The Fighter Fest they announced
Other
something.
than Rob's got tickets for him.
2 tickets
2 tickets.
to Paradise. I don't know. I don't know if they've announced anything or not. I can look.
It just popped in my head who I think the number 21 guy is going to be.
Good.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell could be there with him
That's
too.
why he left Arrow.
To be the world champion.
It wouldn't surprise me if he joined them after that. He is leaving Arrow. He is not doing it anymore. He loves Cody. That's his buddy.
That would be great if he wrestled full time.
Yeah.
He's decent.
He's not bad.
He did all right against what's his name?
Christopher Daniels?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Christopher Daniels,
I
same
think
height
any
as-
of us could have a good match against Christopher Daniels.
that's
so.
true.
Yeah. I don't see CM Punk. I think that's a stretch.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think that's a name you would announce if you had it.
Yeah, so people would tune in.
I could see. I mean, hear me out. If they did a surprise, he's announced. He's a big surprise for the pay per view, but then he's announced way before the TNT show starts.
That's true.
Yeah, because you don't really need. This is already a big announcement.
Yeah.
This Double or Nothing
Yeah, it sold out in 30 minutes.
stood on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are going to tune in for it. People are excited about it. You could surprise them with CM Punk in that, but I just don't think CM Punk wants to wrestle anymore.
No, and I don't. Honestly, I don't care to see him anymore. I don't.
I don't want to see him either. I think he's a big baby. But
Well, I think so too. I think the allure of him is damaged. I mean, if you look at a guy like Lesnar who left wrestling to go to UFC,
Yeah.
he went to UFC, he dominated, he was a champion. When he comes back, he had that rep.
Yeah.
What rep does he have?
none.
He has
You
a
know?
he has a rep of a guy that had 2 squash matches where he got killed,
Yeah.
and then did nothing. So what are you coming back as?
Now he's got something to. Oh, thank you.
Saber stopping by to drop off some sunglasses.
My glasses and my shoes. You can always do the validation route because he wasn't successful in MMA. He's got to come back and validation run.
Yeah. But I don't feel like he has a lot of hype coming back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel people are really missing him. Other than
I
the
don't
people
know.
just
When he
like,
did that indie run, and it kind of blew up all over the place.
Yeah.
he did an indie run.
Well, they're saying that he showed up at a show under a mask and GTS someone. And
I wonder what kind of shape he's in.
Yeah, he's probably in decent shape. You have to
shape's
beat
one
it.
thing, but cardio is he in ring shape?
Yeah.
If he was doing MMA recently, he's probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think it's going to be him though.
Moxley's a big one.
That would be the best one they could get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me, that's even better than Punk.
Yeah, because he's right off a big WWE
Yeah.
run.
He's relevant. People love him.
He's a huge superstar. He's somebody that you put on your roster that's your champion.
And I think you put him with Jericho as a heel group, like almost like former WWE guys. Like, you guys don't know shit. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
All right. So the TNT deal was announced. They didn't give a date on it yet, though.
I just heard
Said
it.
later this year, I think.
Yeah.
Later this year. So fall probably.
Yeah.
They didn't give a date on the. They didn't say the name of the show or the date.
It's
so
going to
far.
be Tuesdays.
Well, and Jericho tweeted this is going to be Dynamite.
So it's
Like,
Tuesday night Dynamite. Or
yeah,
whatever.
it's a good name. Like
It's a playoff Monday Nitro kind of,
Yeah.
TNT Tuesday Night Dynamite. It's got like,
Yeah. Dynamite. Yeah. Okay. Now it all comes together and makes sense.
Yeah. which
That'll
is
be cool.
crazy. Like,
I don't think anything bad can come from this at the start.
no,
It's going to elevate WWE.
How long would you like the show to be?
2 hours.
2 hours, no more than 2.
Okay.
Maybe like 2 hours with a 5-minute run over.
Okay.
Occasionally.
I would even take an hour with the size of the roster right now.
Their roster's pretty big.
Our shows are rushed.
They already have 50 plus people on their roster.
That's true.
So what were you gonna say? You what do you think this does? You said
I think it's going to elevate WWE
make them better.
because right now it is unwatchable. There's nothing of relevance that happens on that show other than Bray Wyatt's transformation, and they'll probably screw that up too.
Creepy clown.
I don't think it's a clown.
It looks like a clown to me.
You look like a clown.
So
I think it's great. I mean, I love watching wrestling on TV that I know I can record and go watch. I don't have to put a streaming thing on.
Right.
I
You
can
know
put
it's
it on
gonna
there
work.
and I know exactly where it's at. And to have another option other than a WWE program, which they're all horrible right now. I mean, NXT is still okay, but it again, sometimes I forget to watch it because I have to log into the network and go find it. And,
it's on Hulu.
yeah, I just always forget about it, Having a network show, that's huge.
Especially a TNT network show because that's
Yes.
one everybody's going to get.
Yes, and it feels like Nitro. Feels like it has that's where the rival belongs is TNT.
I feel like also this needs to be a live show.
It is. They already said it's going to be a live
Oh,
show.
okay, good.
Good. A live show is perfect because I hate when you can read 6 months in advance what
Yes.
happens. It turns you off from
Yeah, I'm
watching
pretty sure that was in that Time Warner press release that it was going to be live,
Yeah,
a live weekly wrestling show.
Which is great.
good. Because it's the worst. Because wrestling shows sometimes are good, but when you read the spoilers and the matches of it, it doesn't sound as appealing.
Yes.
It'll be like
Agreed.
this guy defeated this guy defeated that guy, and you're like, I don't watch that. Then
Yeah, like, oh, I already know what happens.
then you're like, well, it was actually pretty good if you watch it and tune in for it.
Yeah, they need to be live because I could see Vince stooping low, like to the Bischoff level of revealing results
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And here's the other thing: the production quality needs to be top tier.
I think it will be.
You can't have like ROH lighting,
right.
horrible camera angles, shitty production level looking stuff.
What kind of angles?
Shitty.
You said camera. Yeah, you said camera wrong. Sorry. Let's go.
done?
Yeah, I'm done.
You know what I
look
mean?
Look at
It's-
All In. All In was produced well.
All In was produced well, but now you got to do backstage stuff too. And
Their
you-
backstage stuff at All In was rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was filmed on phones.
Yeah, you got to
I
do
would be
backstage
surprised.
stuff. The intros, the video packages, all that stuff's got to look tight.
Yeah.
You got to call up Serg to do songs for everybody.
I think all these guys already own their music, though.
I think they do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Jericho's is horrible though. His singing
gonna-
his own music, it's terrible.
I don't-
That band Downstate or whatever.
Oh, my God.
They did Miz's music.
Yeah,
Did we ever tell you the
they did
story
the
about
All
them?
In song.
They're signed. They do all the music.
Oh
We-
my God.
We saw them at Starcast. It was the night after All In.
No, it was the All In night.
It was All In night.
And they
After All
did-
In was over, we went back to the after party.
And we met DDP.
Yeah.
We met.
And they were on stage singing their music, and it was terrible.
Oh, so
They
bad.
play the Miz's theme.
They
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Because this guy had like a hat on backwards, and he was like, "Everybody ready to get wild tonight?"
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, let's go." And he's like, "We're all in," singing that All In
Did
song.
anybody care?
No one cared.
No one cared.
Everybody's like, "This
Everyone was
song's
just
horrible."
hovering around DDP, and like Jay Lethal was there, and Rocky Romero.
I was just too busy telling Jay Lethal about how much I love his YouTube video of him and Ric Flair from Impact. That it's the thing I watch once a month.
And then
And he was like, "Really? That sounds great."
Dawn became best friends with Zima's DJ Z because we're all from Pittsburgh. He's like, "Oh,
DJ Z.
Yinzers."
So they were bad. Like they were like, "You're gonna really like this next song," and they were like, and it was all like swearing in it. Then they'd go to the next song, and they'd be like, "Motherfucker, yeah, say motherfucker, yeah." What'd you say? I said motherfucker. I was like, "This song is terrible. This is
the-
not a good song."
This is the YouTube.
I know, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll blurt it out, or I won't. No one will care about it. But that's all they did. It was like swearing, and they were like, "How do you feel about being a badass? Do you like being a badass? I do. I'm a badass." And then like that, the new song would come on. We'd be like, "Oh God, this song's terrible."
That's
So
their music producer.
They need to come up with some better music. They need to get the CFOs or whatever, do all the NXT songs or whatever.
Get
Those
Jim
guys are
Johnston.
good.
Oh yeah, I mean, there you go.
That seems to be their MO for those kind of positions.
Yeah, just take the guy that's been doing it for 20 some years. Mm-hmm. So we mentioned backstage segments. I just thought that'd be a good segue into the announce team
Okay.
and the broadcast people. So the announce team is Alex Marvez.
Where's he from?
It doesn't say. Do you know anyone? Okay.
I don't.
All right.
And there's no callers. No one knows.
So, Alicia Atout is also there. She's big now on the indie scene, doing a lot of her
Stage stuff.
backstage stuff. She worked for Impact for a little bit.
She's it all in.
She was at All In. We saw her walk by. I didn't talk to her because I didn't really know who she was. She has a video blog. I can't remember what it is. I think it's called Another Music Video Blog or something. You can check her out, Alicia Atout. Excalibur from PWG.
And he was great at All In. He was the best one of all the people they had there.
I wish that I would have went back and watched it since Dawn and I were there. We didn't get,
Yeah, we missed out on all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it on TV. He was very good.
Okay. And then Justin Roberts, so he'll be doing ring announcing,
He was great.
is amazing. And then
Justin Roberts is the ring announcer.
yeah,
Then who's doing the color and all that?
Jim Ross, Excalibur, and I think this Alex Marvez.
So it's a three-man team.
It's a 3-man booth.
Jim
Alicia-
Ross better be calling the match, though.
Oh yeah,
He
Yeah,
will be.
that'll feel classic in itself.
I'm excited just to hear Jim Ross calling like
Yeah,
matches again.
yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, as long as he gets informed on the product. Because I feel like sometimes listening to Jim Ross do New Japan and he didn't know the backstory, it was a little like,
Yeah,
he's just got to,
and one of those guys better be a good villain
which is probably going to be Excalibur. I
and
would
hate
think.
everything.
I think he's good.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, someone's got to be the heel, and I don't know who this Alex Marvez guy is.
You gotta have a heel.
Alex Marvez, the dirty heel.
Well, that's good. So yeah, it's gotta look legit. It's gotta look good.
It's got to look too legit.
It's gotta look good. It's gotta look that quality. it, like I said, it'll get the AEW fans and the Smart Mark Wrestling guys, but to pull other people in, it better look better than ROH, where people turn that on and go, "What's this?"
Yeah, it looks like it's made in someone's garage.
You know, what is this recording from? You know, it's got to be like, wow, this looks good. It got to have like Lucha Underground backstage quality of the stuff they used to do.
That's tough because you got to film that stuff in advance. And if you don't, I mean, we're used to watching wrestling that we hear changes on the fly. You have to be pretty committed to do some of that backstage stuff.
Well, they got the cash to pull things off, you know?
Well, I don't know if they want to blow their load like on backstage segments. Or, you know,
You don't have
some WWE guy who was involved with that. I can't think of his name.
I mean, you don't have to do Aerostar flying away, you know, or any of that stuff that they did. Or Mantanza, like, escaping under the temple into an underground lair and shit. But, you know, you just got to have good quality backstage stuff.
I think they will. I think they'll be fine.
That's bugging me what that name was.
So let's talk about what do you think they'll have title-wise?
They'll probably
Obviously, a
have
world champ.
that, a tag title, and probably a women's title.
Do you think they'll have like a
Trios?
trios title?
I would love to see them have it. I'm a big fan of
They don't
trios
have enough
matches.
trios yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have like some kind of mid card belt, like an intercontinental belt, or
Not right away.
No. And I can see them having a television champion with Cody and his like history with liking, like, there's a lot of Cody that I think wants to do stuff that has a rich history and is prestigious. I think a television title, they can kind of say like,
And do the television title rules where it's always defended on free TV.
Yep.
Not,
do you think now that they go TV, they'll let these guys like Pac show up with another championship, or do you think they'll go away from that stuff?
that gives him credibility, so I think they'll let him do it because I don't think
No other big show has ever done that. Like WCW, no one came up with like another belt from
Except
another.
for Ultimate Dragon, who had like 30 of them.
Yeah.
and they all were the same NWA belt. They had 3 of the same belt, and he was just like, this is the South American NWA. This is the Japan.
So does ROH own the rights to like the NWA world title?
No, Billy
NWA
Corgan.
is its own thing now.
Because I mean, it shows up on ROH a lot.
That's because of an agreement that Billy Corgan and the guy that runs
Maybe
the
they'll
thing.
get that title to show up.
Maybe you can see Magnus.
Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I don't want him to get. I think that's another thing that kind of cheapens WWE titles too. Is that there's just so many of them.
They never defend them anyway. That's pointless.
I think all you need is tag women's, one major, a women's and a men's, and then you can do a television title and make it intergender.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, lastly, let's go into who do you think they could steal from WWE going forward? Who do you think are some people that are ripe for the pick and that won
There's a
out?
lot of people who went out.
I agree with Brock. There's a lot of people. If I had to pick right now off the top of my head who you could see leaving and going over there, it's Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Their podcast is huge. They make a ton of money off of, I don't know if they make a ton of money, but they make money off of that. And Zack Ryder's like best friends with Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think they're realizing.
I think Dolph Ziggler's one.
Dolph Ziggler is one.
I think Sasha Banks would go.
We got to see her in 6 years though.
Yeah.
She's signed some big contract now. Never going to make her wait it out.
Yeah, she's sitting at home right now.
Luke Harper can't come over because he's stuck.
Yeah.
They're not going to let anybody get
Now
out.
everyone's getting locked
I
down.
think Mickey James will be one. I think the WWE hasn't put her on TV in forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that once her contract's up, that you could see her go.
Yeah.
I read somewhere this week that WWE has over 400 contracted wrestlers.
That's crazy.
I'm not surprised because
Just to keep them away from anybody else, basically.
I mean, if you pay, like a lot of those UK guys don't make a ton of money. They make like, an average salary that you would make at your 9-to-5 job, but they can still work all the indies as long as they're not on. They're in the UK and they're not on television. So you throw that money out there. I mean, they're making $1 billion, like $1 billion a year. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane.
yeah,
But I think they're going to get more aggressive with their contracts now that they have a legitimate competitor that can match these contracts.
Yeah.
Because ROH can't pay these multi-$100,000 deals that these guys are getting. But
Yeah.
AEW, I think, would have the backing to do that, especially with a big TV deal now.
Yeah.
Luke Gallows is one too. I can see going to AEW. I think Carl Anderson's going to go to New Japan.
Okay. Maybe the Revival.
I think you're going to see them sign a deal. But I feel like those guys are far off. I'm like, I'd like to see
I think
who's
they're locked up for a while
the
already.
Revival. Yeah,
EC3.
I think he's locked up for a while. There's a lot of guys that I feel like once their contract's up in a year or 2 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like right now, like I think there's not a ton, but there's a handful that you're going to see.
I think it's funny with them throwing around names like Goldberg and Batista. Then all of a sudden Batista's at WrestleMania, and now Goldberg's at a WWE event. You know, like
Yeah.
they're
If I was an independent wrestler, I'd go talk to AEW or just try to like take a picture with the Young Bucks, and then hope that WWE signs me. Because then you get to sit at home and play with your kids and make some money, because they're not going to write you into a storyline.
yeah.
Well, what sucks for all these guys that are under contract is most of them have to go to these shows.
Yeah,
And then not do anything.
Yeah.
And then pay for their travel. They still get paid for going.
yeah,
Yeah, they get paid for going, and they have them doing a lot of other stuff too. They do signings and kids events,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that they do as a superstar that's beyond wrestling.
yeah.
You know, they're busy. They have a lot of
Yeah.
things that they're involved in. You know,
But I feel like sometimes, like there's guys that are doing that so the Brock Lesnar's can main event. Like you almost want to have them. You'd want to do both.
yeah. Well, we will see. Maybe it'll up the ante for them to be better.
Up your ante,
hope
it's
so.
double or nothing.
Yeah. All
Gambling
right. What else we
puns.
got for AEW? Is this about it?
I think we covered everything.
All right.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the things that they need to really turn into and embrace is heels, faces, storyline, stables.
Stables.
Stables would be huge.
Yes. Because those are all three things that WWE dropped the ball on consistently. And I'm not saying you want to compete, but if you want
To be different.
you want to be different.
The only thing that's going to ruin them is egos. I know right now, like it's all wine and roses and sunshine and rainbows, and they all get along and they're all friends and everybody. But you have to remember, these guys all still have egos. The Bucks have egos, Rhodes, Omega, all of them. And if you get to a point where you're like, I'm the executive vice president, we haven't had the tag belts in forever. I still want to be a champion. I still want to do this. And you start booking yourself, and other wrestlers get mad about that. You're going to have that shit.
Yeah.
If the one time they put themselves over, like, well, we're winning the tag belts off you. Well, it's because you're the friggin'
You'll have
vice.
world class all over again.
Yeah, you'll start getting people that are angry with that. Like, oh, why do you get it? Why? Because you're the vice president. You book yourself as the champion. There's going to be some tension there. I know it's not right now that it's like the home for indie wrestlers and the saviors and all is good, but they got to be careful with that stuff.
They almost need an independent guy in charge, like as the final say.
They
do.
need Jack Tunney to come out of retirement.
You almost do. You almost
Yeah.
need to hire someone who has the say, because
Because that's why WWE, I mean, as flawed as it can be, Vince has final say on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, look at really a stupid example, but look at us. There's been we sit around, we do this show every week, right? There's been times, or even us who've been friends for 10 plus years, where we're like getting a little bit annoyed by like, well, you don't want to talk about something I like, or you want this, and it just
Well, that's
happens.
because you suck.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. It just
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you're frustrated, things happen.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about backed by $1 billion company, making money, big time thing. People want exposure. I want to be the star. You signed John Moxley and he wants to be champion, or he wants to do this, and well, I'm gonna beat you. Well, that's because you're executive vice president. I don't like that shit. Fights happen, issues happen.
It's tough, but I mean, really, if it boils down to it, they get mad because those guys want to be on top for a little bit. I mean, they're there and built the company because they were so hot on the indie scene
Right.
and making so much money. Like, when the whole Hot Topic story about how they got how much money they're making,
And
on
that's
pro
all.
wrestling
That's all
teams.
good for now. But years later, there could be, hey, whatever Tuesday Night Dynamite. That's the show John Moxley built. Like I'm the most popular guy in that show, or whatever other indie guy they bring in. Just saying, there could be that. That's the only place they would fail, is if egos get in the way.
Well, let's hope that people can be in check. And I mean, really, when it all comes down to it, what's his name?
Tony Khan.
Tony Khan owns it. Like it's he executive vice presidents come and go, but like he owns it. It's his.
He could be a final say so guy.
Yeah, and I
Maybe
think
he'll hire a president.
Jack Tunney.
I mean, it's true. He could hire
Oh, yeah, you
someone
could.
down the road. If it gets big enough where they have a TV show now and a brand,
Yeah.
and they're
Triple H.
doing stuff.
And we don't even know. They could have one that, that they're going to have, or have like an on-air personality, be it like Jack Tunney used to be in the 80s. But like I'm joking about, but
They signed Eric Bischoff
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's on as a consultant.
as the boss.
Yeah. I mean, I would be surprised.
It's Bischoff! It's Bischoff! Jim Ross starts yelling.
Oh, Jim. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, it's Bischoff, that bastard! That bastard!
He fired Stone Cold via FedEx.
He's a rotten bastard.
That silver-haired devil.
Maybe a consortium buys AEW.
Oh, consortium.
And the consortium was me.
I saw a great meme of Vince McMahon, and then a cut screen of Triple H like at AEW, like they did the Panama show for WCW, and Vince is all shocked, like Triple H is just
I
behind.
heard there's some legit heat between those two right now.
Yeah, that's what I read too.
Between who?
Triple H and Vince McMahon.
Oh, really?
There's a whole thing. Someone came out, was doing an interview talking about all the shit that's happening backstage.
All right, we're going to talk about that on our SoundCloud show.
So check us out on
Go over and
SoundCloud.
listen to your audio show or podcast.
So it's not just a SoundCloud show. It's our pop culture
podcast.
week in review. You can check us out on all your streaming apps.
That's right.
You can also check us out at kfpodcast.com.
All right.
Please like, share, subscribe, invite, tell your friends. Comment on this if you think we missed something. But I feel like we were pretty in depth on this.
Yes, we did.
So
10 people to watch this one.
10 people gonna watch this show because
right.
I'm singing at the
Take
end
us out,
as
singing
we
guy.
go. I just did. I was singing.
Okay.
You can sing, talk to me.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Later.